Today I'm going to show you how to paint a very simple, very easy Tuscany landscape with wet on wet technique and with amazing sky, just using one color and using two colors for the valleys. And good luck with that. So I'm going to start, and my paper is 300-gram cotton paper, and it's from the roll, that's why it's rolled, but it doesn't influence on anything because I'm going to paint wet on wet, and due to water it will be absolutely flat, don't worry. And my three brushes. This is a big Hague brush for watering the paper. The brush that I'm going to use for painting the sky, and it's Calligraphic Brush. That's a big one. And I also have a Escoda Perla 12 to add some details, or when it is too wet. This brush is not a good solution because it also takes lots of water. So if you have a lot of water on the paper, you use this brush. If the paper is close to dry, not that pure wet, then you can use this brush. I will show you. Due to the fact that I'm working wet on wet, I make my paper wet from both sides. First from back, then from front. And for that I'm using big brush and a lot of water. You see, a lot of water. And first from back. Lots of movement, not just one, but I'm making sure that all the spots on the paper have water. If I paint on a big sheet of paper, I wet it several times, like first from back, then from front, and then again back, and then again front. So the tip, whether the paper is wet enough from one side, is that if you use a rolled paper, and it is rolled, right? And when it's flat, you see it is almost flat, it means that I can start moisture from the face. So the back side is wet enough, and we see it from the shape of the paper. It is not rolled anymore. Now I'm doing the same again. So rolled paper is not an issue at all. The only thing that I don't like about it is that you have to cut, but it gives you the opportunity to cut different sizes. That's important. You can choose any size of the paper. So everything is so wet that I can start painting, but before I'm going to remove the water. Here, round, also here. At the same time, not touching the paper, only the sides. I'm starting with this brush, and I'm going to use a negative painting. It means that I won't paint clouds. I will paint the sky around clouds to leave white spaces for clouds. That's how I'm going to work. I'm taking blue. It can be any blue you like. In my case, it's ultramarine blue. So this is my first cloud. Leave more space if you think it will bleed too much. Yes, I'm painting clouds. I think till here. This will be my horizon line. When the clouds come closer to the horizon line, they're getting smaller and more flat. You can leave it as it is, or you can hold it like that or like that, so that it bleeds a bit. Or both. I'm adding a bit of darker color up, but only up, and it is still wet. I can also change a bit the size of the cloud, so making some corrections. It's too dark for this place. Just clean dry brush and I remove it. So again, holding. Like that. You decide when it should stop, when it should stop to bleed. Yeah, I think that I want to stop because otherwise all the colors will bleed and I will lose my my white clouds. That's why I'm stopping. I'm checking the water around, removing it. And now I'm starting with some kind of a grass ground. Let's imagine that it's Italy. And now that's important that I'm using this brush, because this will add water and the water will go up to the sky and will make big shapes of water. I don't want that. I'm taking green. I love olive green. The paint is very thick. Moreover, I can remove a bit so that the paint is very thick on the brush and there is no water at all. No water. With very quick movements. Some different, I'm adding a bit of lavender, so a bit changing the color. Or you can use another green, it's also possible. So that it's a bit diverse. See how it goes up? It's okay because, but due to this brush, if we use a big brush tool, that's why. Yes, and I want to make some small splashes. For splashes, just better to cover the sky so that no water comes there. So this is clean brush, smaller than my previous one. Oops. Yeah, you see what creates water. It creates some very nice dots or stars. I want to add also yellow splashes. That's the illusion of the yellow flowers. Purpose, I made this white so to show different values, so it's Tuscany. Yeah, I'm not going to add anything because I just wanted to show you that if you have, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, you can create a very nice landscape. Just enjoy wet and wet technique and how the paint flows, how the paint bleeds. So, good luck! More detailed tutorials on how to paint different kinds of clouds you may find on my Patreon channel, which is below under this video. So we are going to paint there clouds with shadows, clouds with warm hues, and so on. This is a quick overview how we are working on that class. And I also added some kind of illusion of the ground of the grass to make all these paintings complete.